Hi, this is Padraig here from Boyle Payroll Project Management, and today I want to talk to you about an attendance breaks, payroll hours and absence recording system. Employers that currently have no provision for paid sick leave must now take time to comply with the legislation that came into effect on January the 1st, 2023. If your business doesn't already have a sick leave scheme in place, the new legislation will impose costs on your company. Additionally, indirect costs may include administrative costs in relation to setting up and implementing the scheme and maintaining records for each employee. The basic Excel system and procedures outlined here will not only streamline the operation to comply with statutory requirements, but also provide much more additional and useful functionality. As an employer, you must keep proper records for each employee. The records must be maintained for 4 years and include information in relation to each employee who availed of sick leave. Employees have an entitlement to 3 days of paid sick leave in 2023. The sick pay year is the calendar year, so it runs from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. This is like the tax year we are using here, as you can see in the drop-down menu. As per the Statutory Sick Pay legislation, the following information must be included in the records. The employee's period of employment. An employee must be working at least 13 weeks with your business before they can get statutory sick pay. The dates of statutory sick leave in respect of each employee. Each employee must be certified as unable to work to qualify for statutory sick pay, and the dates clearly shown on the medical cert. An employer who fails to maintain accurate records may be convicted and subject to a fine of up to €2,500. For the sample business outlined in this demo, the week runs from a Monday to a Sunday. If you qualify for public holiday benefit, you are entitled to one of the following: a paid day off on the public holiday, an additional day of annual leave, an additional day's pay, a paid day off within a month of the public holiday. The option this sample business uses is an additional day's pay. Annual leave is accrued in hours. The business setup relating to week endings, pay dates, and the choice for public holiday benefit can all be customized to suit your requirements. Some small businesses may not require the department field, so you can replace or edit them to suit your requirements. We have also entered some sample employee data for this sample business in this template. You can simply amend the sample existing data to suit your requirements. As an example, we will add Anne King to the employee list. Here she is on the roster sheet. I am going to undo these changes again now. Entries under the heading of contract type and weekly contracted hours are not essential for the operation and functionality of the system. These details, however, are useful pieces of data for calculating absences, entitlements, and for the reporting capacity of the system. The Employment Miscellaneous Provisions Act 2018 states that an employer must notify each employee in writing within 5 days of commencement of employment of the number of hours the employer reasonably expects the employee to work per normal working day and per normal working week. We have a detailed procedures manual for every step and the sequence of each step. On the roster sheet, time and attendances are recorded on a 24-hour clock and in 5-minute intervals. There is a drop-down menu for each cell to allow for standard entry. This is a useful feature to pay someone for the time they worked, as the rostered hours may not be worked if the person turns up 25 minutes late for work. The only way a new employee can be added or deleted from this sheet is via the employee setup sheet. This is what the worksheet, detailed absences and attendance looks like prior to any data entry apart from updating the employee records. Section 1 of the attendance are the attendance and breaks. All this section of the worksheet is protected and does not allow any entries to be made directly. All the data on this part of the sheet is deduced from the roster sheet time and attendance. All the data on this sheet appears in decimalized hours. The break time durations are all in accordance with the Working Time Act. Again, details of breaks can be customized to suit your needs. For example, many companies pay for some breaks. This here is section 2 of the detailed absences and attendance sheet. This worksheet shows the absence types for the employees and the protected leave types, which are the ones that annual leave is accrued for. In the drop-down menu, the choices are day off, annual leave taken, public holiday accrued, certified sick, uncertified sick, maternity leave, adoptive leave, carers leave, parental leave, and paternity leave, force majeure leave, parents leave. Even though all the rest of this section refers to leave types taken, the first 3 columns refer to premium and overtime hours. These are optional and only included for any businesses that wish to record these hours on this system. The next 2 columns refer to public holidays accrued. That means that with 10 public holidays in Ireland now, employees accrue 10 days public holiday, if and only if they are entitled to accrue them as per the public holiday rules. The time/payroll administrator must determine whether the days or hours are accrued for each employee based on the rules. Some of you may wonder why we have both days and hours. The answer is that all these leave types accrue annual leave, and on this system, annual leave is accrued for in hours. Section 3 of this sheet is monitoring and control. The 3 columns towards the top section of this part of the sheet are the key to monitoring, management and control of paid certified sick leave, paid public holiday leave, and accrued annual leave. We will be looking at how this is achieved later when we have recorded some data. One very important point about this master file time, attendance and absence recording template is that the only worksheet you amend details on is the business and employee details. Once you have your changes to master file data made, save the file as master file time, attendance and absence recording template. This is the file that populates master file data on your weekly attendance file. Time and attendance data entry. Now it's time to get stuck in. The first order of business is to enter the period ending from the drop-down menu and save the weekly time and attendance file as the name in the cell on the top left. Here's a little tip. Copy the cell and paste it into the file name and save. It should be in the same folder as the master file time, attendance and absence recording template. Once the detail for each period is entered, save the file with the file name in cell B at the top left. When you change the period endings on the drop-down, you will also notice that all the changes that occur when the period end date changes, like the dates for each day and the file name details. So we file save as week 1, period ending January the 1st in the folder called Basic Excel, Time and Attendance with Payroll and Absence Management 2023. As you can see here, we now have a dated week file on which to enter employee attendance and absence data. This is one we prepared earlier with some data processed in order to save us a little time for demo purposes. As you can see here, the week ending is the 1st of January, which is a public holiday for everyone. We can also see that the 26th of December is a public holiday. And we do the same for this day. We enter it as a public holiday for everyone. We will come back to what entitlement each employee qualifies for in hours equivalent on the next sheet. If we move forward to period ending the 12th of February, we will see that the 6th of February is a public holiday as indicated by Monday, the 6th of February, P/holiday in cell C3. And the next one is the 17th of March on week 12, period ending the 19th of March. You will have noticed that there are two rows allocated for each employee. The top row is to record leaves and absences, and the second row is to record attendance times. Be always aware that when the system totals the attendance hours and minutes and outputs 7.5, for example, on the next sheet, detail of absences and attendance, that this represents 7.5 hours. To record a half day annual leave for someone, you can record the leave on the top row and put the hours they worked on the second row. You can deal with the hours equivalent for the half day annual leave on the next sheet. So, if we record Michael Kelly as annual leave on Wednesday the 28th of December, and also record him as working from 9:30 to 1:30, that's entered as 13:30, he will have 4 hours attendance recorded, and the time administrator will record 0.5 days as annual leave taken and 4 hours annual leave taken. For the other days, Michael Kelly works his normal hours, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday. His days off are on Saturday and Sunday, but since Sunday is a public holiday, the public holiday takes precedence over the day off, since it may have a public holiday entitlement for the employee. The scenario we have for Michael Kelly, who is a whole-time employee on 39 hours a week, is an excellent example to demonstrate some of the functionality of this Excel model. In this sample business, for illustrative purposes, which is operational from 9:30 a.m. to 3 a.m. the following morning, Michael Kelly works his normal hours each week, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and 9:30 to 5 p.m. on Friday, apart from the weeks he takes annual leave or any other types of leave for that matter. So, for week 1, Michael has 2 days public holiday accruals. 7.8 multiplied by 2 is equal to 15.6 hours, and 15.6 entered in the public holiday hours. He also has attendance hours, 35, and 4 hours annual leave, and 0.5 days annual leave, and 4 hours in the paid annual leave cell. Mary Murphy is currently on maternity leave. A person can only be recorded for one type of attendance or absence per day in the top row of their record. So, if a person is on maternity leave and there is a public holiday, then the day is recorded as a public holiday in preference to maternity leave, because there may be a statutory entitlement associated with the public holiday. Mary is entitled to leave for any public holidays that occur during her maternity leave. Employees are entitled to leave for any public holidays that occur while they are on maternity leave, parental leave, paternity leave, parents' leave, adoptive leave, and force majeure leave, or the first 13 weeks of carers' leave. On the detail of absence and attendance sheet, we can see that Mary has no attendance hours for the week. Under the heading of maternity leave and public holiday accrual, there is an entry required. A number for the hours and days must be entered in these cells, otherwise the accrued annual leave days will read value, which is incorrect. Mary has a contract for 39 hours per week, so we enter 7 days maternity leave and 39 hours. In the public holiday accrued cells, we enter 2 days and 15.6 hours, which is equal to 39 divided by 5 multiplied by 2. We can now see that she has accrued annual leave of 3.12 hours. If the business policy is to accrue public holidays for employees on protected leave types, then we leave paid public holiday leave hours blank, as accrued public holiday hours will be paid when the employee returns to work. At the end of the year, we can carry forward any unpaid balances to the next calendar year. The next thing we shall look at in this period is the 12-hour shift. As we were requested to do on our Facebook page for employers called, you guessed it, by Payroll Project Management, the question asked related to the statutory sick pay from the 1st of January 2023 was, how would it work for employees, for example, on 12-hour shifts, working week 1, Thursday and Friday, 12 hours, and week 2 works 12-hour shifts on Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday, and repeating thereafter. The political answer to this question is that employees are entitled to a rate of 70% of usual daily earnings up to €110 a day for 3 days. For what it's worth, the nearest thing to a proper payroll calculation comes from Citizens Information. What is normal daily pay? Your normal daily pay includes any regular bonus or allowances which do not change from week to week, but excludes overtime or commission. If your pay changes from week to week, for example, because of regular bonus payments or allowances, your sick pay is the average of your pay over the 13 weeks before you are on sick leave. Like many other pieces of legislation, it is left up to employers to apply their own interpretation to the legislation, which in many cases leave a lot to be desired as to the level of detail required to implement the legislation. For those of you watching, please note that Boyle Payroll Project Management also has a Facebook group where employers can ask payroll-related questions. While I am on the topic, if you are watching this video on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all things related to payroll, income tax, tax credits and PAYE in Ireland. It costs nothing to subscribe, and I guarantee you will never be receiving any promotional emails or any other correspondence from me or anyone else at BPPM. Back to the 12-hour shift. You will be hard-pressed to get any straightforward information regarding statutory break times for 12 hours on any of the official websites or even in the legislation. Based on looking at the legislation in the Organisation of Working Time, we have deduced the break times as we have coded them into the system. To demonstrate the treatment of 12-hour shifts, we will apply the shifts hours to Sean. Week 1 works Thursday and Friday from 8:20 a.m. to 8:20 p.m. Week 2 works Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday from 8:20 a.m. to 8:20 p.m. The unusual start and end times are all for illustration purposes to highlight the variety of start and end times. We will see the statutory unpaid break times for these hours on the next sheet, as seen here on details of absences and attendance sheet. For the 12-hour shift, Sean has 11.25 hours paid and breaks of 0.75 hours. In cases where employers pay for breaks, we can customize the system to facilitate this. Sean is also entitled to public holiday pay for the 26th of December and the 1st of January, as indicated by the entry in the cell for public holiday accrued. In this case, under days we have an entry of 2, and under hours we have 6.7 hours for each day, giving a total of 13.5 hours for the week. This is based on the minimum statutory requirement as per the legislation. That is, Sean works 67.5 hours over 2 weeks, with weekly contracted hours recorded as 33.75. Where the public holiday falls on a day on which the employee does not normally work, the employee is entitled to 1/5 of his normal weekly wage for the public holiday. Before anyone starts shouting at the screen and saying, this is not correct because Sean works every second Sunday, I would say that employers may award public holiday entitlements which are more favourable than the minimum statutory requirements. We at Boyle Payroll Project Management believe that the language used in the Working Time Act is open to interpretation and has not kept up to date with current family-friendly work practices. That's enough about that for now, apart from saying that the system can be customised to suit the business requirements. The last action to do on Sean's record is to record 13.5 hours in the paid public holiday leave. For illustrative purposes, we have Patricia Ryan working on Monday evening, the 26th of December from 10:15 p.m. to 3 a.m. to show that the hours work on the 24-hour clock, which means the system can be used for businesses involved in the nighttime economy as well as the daytime economy. Here we can see the result in hours worked by Patricia on Monday evening, the 26th of December, from 10:15 p.m. to 3 a.m. the following morning. Patricia is normally rostered to work these hours for Monday to Friday inclusive, which are the hours she normally works. In this case, the time management payroll administrator determines Patricia's eligibility for the public holiday pay based on the regulations. Where an employee is a part-time worker like Patricia, then she must work at least 40 hours in the 5 weeks ending on the working day before the public holiday to have a public holiday entitlement. Where this happens, the employee is entitled to 1/5 of the benefit based on their normal working week. In the example of Patricia, as she normally works Monday to Friday from 10:15 to 3 a.m., being 4.5 hours per day or 22.5 hours per week, she will be entitled to 4.5 hours pay for each of the public holidays, together with 4.5 hours worked on the public holiday. The last action to do on Patricia's record is to record the 9 hours in the paid public holiday leave. As we have mentioned, this is a basic model with some bells and whistles, but will never be an all-singing and all-dancing model to cover all scenarios and all sectors fully. Where this gets complicated is if the employee works in a shop, either retail or wholesale. If this is the case, they're entitled to an hour-long break if they work a shift longer than 6 hours and must work between the hours of 11:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. They must take this 1 hour between those times. Ultimately, how you structure your breaks depends entirely on the way your business runs. You'll need to consider your shift start times and then apply breaks on an employee-by-employee basis depending on the length of their shifts. Our Excel model does not cover such complex scenarios. We do, however, have workarounds for some scenarios. For example, there is no artificial intelligence included for rosters with multiple beginning and end times, like split shifts. So, in our sample template, we take it that where the difference between the start and end time is equal to or greater than 13.5 hours, we treat that as a split shift with a 4-hour break in between. In this case, the business pays the employee working splits for the statutory break during their working hours. So let us enter Tommy Burden for a split shift, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. and from 9 p.m. to finish time at 3 a.m. the next day, on Tuesday the 27th of December. A start time 1 p.m. and finish time of 3 a.m. On the Thursday, he works from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and the same on Saturday. We can look at the break times here on the next sheet. As Tommy Byrne does not have 40 hours worked in the previous 5 weeks, he does not qualify for the public holiday entitlement on this occasion. So the public holiday accrual cells should be 0 and the paid public holiday would be 0 as per the statutory guidelines. There is nothing to prevent the employer of paying some premium to Tommy, seeing that it is the season of goodwill, and there were 3 public holidays since Tommy started work on the 18th of December. A note to that effect could be inserted in the notes field. So just say, in this case, the employer decides on this course of action and awards Tommy an entitlement for the 2 public holidays of 4 hours for each public holiday. Then we input 2 days and 8 hours for public holiday accrual and input 8 hours in the paid public holidays column and add a note in the notes field. As the criteria for the public holiday entitlements were not met, 8 hours public holiday pay was paid as a gesture of goodwill. That's week 1 complete, so we must now look at absence management and control 2023. After completing each period's attendance and absence data, we upload it as values to this absence management and control document. For now, I am going to upload the data from week 1 as values to the absence management and control 2023 sheet. It's a simple matter of going down here to row 26, file completed, update to absence management and control. And in the drop-down menu, you choose yes And that forwards the completed data to the Absence Management and Control 2023 file. Here we can see it after loading 1 week's data. We shall return to the functionality of this file when we have a few weeks' data uploaded. For the second week, we can use a popular phrase on cooking programs. This is one I prepared earlier. On the template sheet, we have added
and Ryan
to the employee list as a casual worker for 20 hours plus per week for the bar. Here, she is on the roster sheet on week 2. For this week, Michael Kelly works his normal hours, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and 9:30 to 5 p.m. on Friday. His days off are on Saturday and Sunday. Nothing must be done to his record. Mary Murphy is on maternity leave, so her attendance hours are 0, and her maternity hours 39 hours and 7 days, and her accrued leave hours are 3.12, which is 8% of 39. Sean Glynn has his alternating bi-weekly 12-hour shift pattern and has 4 12-hour shifts this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. An entry for weekend premium is entered as appropriate for the business. Patricia was rostered to work from 10:15 p.m. to 3 a.m. from Monday to Friday inclusive, which are the hours she normally works. However, Patricia rang in sick on Wednesday and had a cert sent in on Thursday for 5 days, covering Wednesday to Sunday. This is a good example for the application of the Certified Sick Leave Scheme for recording purposes on the system. In this case, the Time Management Payroll Administrator determines Patricia's eligibility for statutory sick pay based on the regulations. The Time Management Payroll Administrator determines Patricia's eligibility for 4.5 hours per day for each of the 3 certified sick days at the rate of 70% of normal pay for payroll calculation purposes. For our model, the certified sick leave in days is 5. The certified sick leave in hours is 13.5, and the number of paid certified sick leave days is 3. We enter Tommy Byrne for a split, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. and from 9 p.m. to finish time at 3 a.m. the next day. On Tuesday the 3rd of January, a start time of 1 p.m. and finish time of 3 a.m. On the Thursday he works 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and the same on Saturday. Anne Ryan started on the 4th and worked from 4:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. from Thursday to Sunday. No entry is required unless the employer wishes to record premium payments for weekend work. To show how this system monitors and controls absences and attendances, we have created files for period 2, 3 and 4, which we will now upload the data for week 2 and 3 by going down to row 26, file completed, update to absence management and control, and in the drop you choose yes, and that forwards the completed data to the absence management and control 2023 file. Here we can see it after loading 2 weeks data. Prior to uploading period 4, we need to look at some more functionality of the system. On the template, we have entered a leaving date of the 18th of the 1st, 2023 for Michael Kelly. We can see that the leaving date on the detail of absences and attendance. For this week, Michael will have attendance hours, and the time and attendance manager determines if there is annual leave due or overtaken. To do this, we go down here to row 26, file completed, update to absence management and control, and in the drop down you choose yes, and that forwards the completed data to the absence management and control 2023 file. Absence management and control file. Go to absence management and control file. On the drop down with employee name, select all to clear all the names, and then select the name of the person you are looking for. That is, select all and then select Michael Kelly. See the auto sum accrued annual leave and annual leave taken hours. Subtract annual leave taken hours from accrued annual leave. In this case, we have 10.96 accrued and 4 taken is equal to 6.96 Annual leave hours due, 6.96. You add the number of annual leave hours due in the period for annual leave hours taken. We can add a note if we wish to say that outstanding annual leave of 6.96 hours is included. Mary Murphy returned from maternity leave on the 19th of the 1st, 2023. She may be due public holidays, so we look at the absence management and control file and take or subtract public holidays leave hours paid from the accrued hours and add the balance to the paid public holiday leave hours in order to have the hours processed on payroll. We have also entered her maternity leave hours and days. Patricia Ryan has sent in a certified sick cert starting on Friday the 20th of January for 1 week. When we look at the absence management and control file, we see that Patricia has already used up her statutory sick pay entitlement, so she is not due payment for that sick leave period. There is other functionality that the system is capable of, and we shall address these in our training and processes manual. In the meantime, if you require further details about acquiring this system or acquire a system with some customization, please pop me an email on info@bppm.ie. Thank you. See you next time, and remember, if you want to keep up to date with payroll matters in Ireland, please subscribe to this channel.